everybody. Dr. Giggles is in the house. It's your weekly Thursday Grove show. And we're in the house. And this week, we're going to have some fun. The stupid thing that I did was I forgot my notes at work. And then I had to retype them up within 10 minutes because I realized I forgot them. All my news and everything. So it's going to be a weird show. I had to type them up on the computer over here so we could see it. But how do you do, y'all? And like I said, today's going to be fun. There's quite a bit to talk about. We're going to be talking about Star Wars Land from Star Wars Celebration stuff that we learned. A bunch of Universal Orlando stuff. Planet Coaster stuff from the new DLC and the Copperhead Strike that if you have Planet Coaster, you get for free. But the DLC is not. Like for the Classic Rides collection. We're going to talk about a little bit about Six Flags New England, a little bit about Lake Compounce, some Six Flags as a whole, some news, some Busch Gardens and Tampa and Williamsburg and Kennywood stuff, and Fright Haven, Fairtown, all that good stuff, and whatever else decides to pop up in this chat room that you guys start dropping in there. If you're new here, make sure that you join us in the chat, chit-chat with everybody. It's interactive for everyone, and we can all have some fun. So I do want to say, and I'm going to put the link after the show, what do you call it? We're going to put the link to Isabel's vlog down below in the comment section after the show. For those that don't know, Isabel obviously vlogs is one of our fans, and she did her very, very first vlog at Six Flags New England. She really did a good job. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything, and so yeah. So we're going to link it down below in this description. So if you want to check that out, and you know, and if you enjoy what she did, she's going to be doing more. Subscribe, you know, click that notification thing, and have some fun. And it's always a pleasure for each and every one of you to join in. So I don't know what you guys did last weekend. Looks like people were at the parks. Who is that someone? What someone? I don't know who Carlos is. Carlos is a new person, I believe. Maybe somebody new. Maybe a troll. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Who? Me? You? Someone? I don't know. The other day. All right. So, with that being said, we'll just start dropping into some news and just continue moving, talking, and all that. So, I don't know how many Star Wars fans. We've been talking about Star Wars Land that's hitting Disneyland and Disney World. And everybody knows I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I wanted to talk about some stuff that we found out about the land. We all know about the Millennium Falcon ride, but there was a new point added to the ride that depending upon how your crew flies the Millennium Falcon, when you get onto the hallway, it could look different. Now, it could look normal, undamaged, nothing. But if you fly horrible, probably like I will, you'll have a blown up, damaged hallway. Kind of like, I don't know how many of you've seen Star Wars movies. And then when the Millennium Falcon takes on damage, there's been so many different movies with the Millennium Falcon in it. And then you got, C-3PO in the movies and R2 trying to fix it, and Chewbacca and everybody's trying to fix it while they're flying it, trying to put it back in the hyperspeed and all that other stuff. But you have the chance, if you mess up your flight in this ride, to have it blown up like that. Which I find is cool. They're trying to really make this thing active. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. So I don't know how many of you are interested in that, but there's one more thing that they talked about in the panel. If you go to Star Wars on what's up, Carlos? I don't know, Magia. I don't know how to say that. I'm an uncultured white dude that doesn't know how to pronounce foreign language. So could be, I don't know. I don't know how to say the last name, and I apologize. But so if you want to see the full panel for Star Wars Land, for the Galaxy's Edge, if you just type in Star Wars, find their main account, and you can what do you call it? You can watch the whole panel, but there was some highlights. But there's going to be an app for your phone that you could play. And there's all different options of things you can do to interact with the land, which is really cool. And I will get to Busch Gardens next, because that's next on the list. Hey, QWERTY girly. But yeah, so there's like, you could, I don't know how many of you have seen the Star Wars movies, but like when R2 sticks his little arm out and he's trying to crack like a doorway or something, that you could scan and do stuff like that. There's all kinds of different stuff like that. They were trying to, sneak peek stuff, but they didn't show. The other thing that they did show, you know how like Disney with the animatronics, they're trying to step up their game on these animatronics. So I don't know how many of you saw from, the Avatar land, the animatronics that they have in there. Well, they showed off one of the animatronics called Hondo. I can't pronounce his last name. Hondo something. But the movements in this, and if you watch that panel, and if you're excited about Star Wars Land, I totally suggest going to watch that panel. It's worth every 5 seconds of it. I don't know. It's working for me. I see that there's 7 people watching right now. I don't know why it says nobody's watching on your end. Oh, now we're up to 8. Look at that. People just keep coming in and out. But anyway, so watch that panel. Onaka. Oh yeah, Onaka. Yeah, you must have saw that, Lindsay. But the it looked. I thought it was like a dude in makeup and a costume. That's how legit this animatronic was. Like, it was awesome. It was crazy. Like my mind was blown just because of that fact that the animatronics are getting that good. They're almost like human-like, and their movements on them are insane. Definitely go check that out if you're a Star Wars fan. Excited about that? Check that out. They also showed these new Coke bottles that look like grenades. Like they showed the Coke and the what do you call it, Sprite. It looks like one of those grenades that Han Solo had. Hey, what's up, Jason? It looked like one of them, like when Princess Leia was in that outfit in Return of the Jedi, that little grenade thing she had. It looks like that. So they were showing a woman screwing off the top, drinking, I don't know if it was Coke or Sprite or something, but they're going all out. And then you can see other stuff like different merchandise, like that Inequities store there. Like they got like all these like rare things. And the thing that I liked about it is you could buy like these lightsabers, and you can take the blade and put it in anyone. You got to buy those Kyber crystals, and depending upon the color, it unlocks some cool stuff, whether it's a Jedi or a Sith. And then you can get a holocron, which is like it holds the information for the Jedis and the Sith, and you can put it in and it'll tell you a story about whatever. They're going all out. The different busts, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, they got it to compete with Universal. Universal, when they put in Harry Potter, they went crazy. They went crazy with Harry Potter galore. Now you got that new coaster opening up in June. So, So again, it's mind-blowing what they're going to do between all the different stuff. Excel, we Jessica and I said the same thing opening weekend. We thought it went higher than it did before. That's what she did. And I was like, maybe, I don't know. But now that you bring that up, I remember what you're saying. But yeah, the what do you call it? So Star Wars has to up their notch, and we'll see what happens. But if you're interested to see more and go in more depth than I said, check out the panel on YouTube. They did live that whole weekend with all the different, anything to do with Star Wars, from showing the new trailer, talking about the new movie, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. So if you're digging the Star Wars flavor, and I mean, I enjoyed the trailer that came out for Episode 9. So, And then hearing the Emperor laugh at the end was pretty awesome. I don't know about you guys, if anybody's seen it, but, you know. Yeah. All right, where's the next tidbit? All right, so somebody wanted me to talk about the Busch Garden stuff. Now, we're going to talk about both Williamsburg and Tampa. I'm going to start with Tampa because now Tigress is now open. Tigress had its media day today. It opened up early yesterday for people. So now it's open. You can go get your ride on it. The comfort collars that were put on are different. They're not like ridiculously big and bulky like they are for Tempesto at Williamsburg. So, but Tigress is open. You can now check that out and get some rides on it. So that's good. And the Williamsburg news, not much, but Finnegan's Flyers, which is like Thunder and Lightning at Lake Compounce. So it's a scream and swing. Theirs has finally got an opening date of May 3rd. So if you're looking to ride that, after May 3rd and on, go ride it. And then you'll be all good. You'll be hooked up. I did not see that, but that doesn't surprise me. I just want to know. I didn't watch the panel. I think it was like, I forgot what fan site put together a highlights video of the Star Wars thing. And when I just had looked at that. I did not watch the whole panel, but if you watch the whole, so that wouldn't surprise me. That it's open in early 2020. I think two things are going on. Maybe they're having an issue with the ride itself. That's one thing. Or two, they're... Now, when you said Rise of the Resistance, is that for Disneyland or Disney World? Or both? Because if it's both, that's crazy. And two, if it's not, it could also be one of those things that a lot of people have been talking about all over the internet. For the, like the layered, delayed opening. What do you call it? They're doing that so they can let like everybody's all hyped up for this one ride in the land and then suck them back in. Hey, you know what, QWERTY girlie? It doesn't matter if you like Star Wars or not. You love what you love. I love what I love. I love Star Wars. I mean, technically, I seen the original in the theater, if that counts as I was in my mother's stomach. They went to go see it. I don't know how old I was. So... But technically, I was there in a sense. So, technically, not in the physical form, but the physical form inside my mother's stomach. How about that? That they were both in the theater. I was almost ready to pop when that came out. So, Carlos, you are saying, do you think there's going to be a new roller coaster at Six Flags New England for 2020? I don't think so. I don't think so. I do not think so. Obviously, I believe that you're new to the channel, and that's absolutely fine. And I don't mind repeating myself to people or whatever, just because I want to make sure everybody's informed. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And I don't think so, and I'm going to tell you why. If you watch, I did a... I made a video, like, just to have fun, and I'll do one... technically, you've been inside your mom since before she was born. Technically. Oh my God. Anyway, so you can find the 2020 Six Flags New England prediction video. I did one for all the Six Flags. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one for the whole Six Flags, because I didn't do all the parks like the newer ones that were acquired. And this was just on my, on my brain. And then as leaks start coming out and people start telling me things, then I'll adjust or keep. I don't think they're removing Flashback. Not yet. I don't think that's happening yet. This is what I think is going to come for 2020. New trains for Superman, because Superman needs the trains. Then I feel, You're going to get what Six Flags St. Louis got, because I think that's what we were supposed to get for this year and not Cyborg. So you're going to get the what do you call it? The Zamprella Endeavor. I believe that's coming. Now, if they really want to go and spend a little bit of extra cash, they could go get some type of water slide. And if you watch the 2020 thing, you can see in like huge, great detail why I think all these things and why I think this is coming. I don't know, Excel, if you're familiar with like the old Huss Enterprise rides. Well, Zamprella makes a new version of that. So instead of sitting in this caged car, you're just sitting in these seats, and it's doing the same thing. You know, it spins and then it lifts up. Zamprella calls it Endeavor, whatever it is. Kyle says SFNE is better than Great Adventure. It could be. I mean, if you were to go out on Facebook and say which park is better, I would say more than likely you are going to get people saying what do you call it? Great Adventure was the better park. Me personally, when it comes to parks, I'm not a huge fan of gigantic parks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't know. And when Excel says, "Why do we need more spinning rides?" And I, you know what? And I've said this a million times on this show, and I'll say it a million more just because I think it's fun and funny. And I want everybody, Joshua, Jason, Qwerty Girly, everybody to listen to this. This makes sense. And Jason, hear me out on this, and I want to know if you agree with this statement. Because me and you seem to be like on the same wavelength with stuff. Because I'm gonna talk about what you're saying about the international thing in a second here. But what I always say about spinning rides and stuff, that's all there is. For those that remember, or those that go to different parks besides New England, or get outside of New England, you will find that there are very few. But like the old classic flat rides, whether they were spinny, they were dark rides, whatever they were, there was all kinds of crazy different flat rides. So, you know what I'm saying? So here's my thinking. The only way we're going to get other things other than spinny rides and rides that do other things is you need to contact all the ride manufacturers. And I don't mean this and don't like, I don't want everybody going out there and you're like, pitchforks and, in a nice, respectful way, say, hey, look, is there a way that you can go back into your catalog from old rides and make them new with, you know, today's safety standards, and let's get some new, and if there's no innovation, that's what it is at the end of the day. There is no innovation. It's just spinny puke rides. There's nothing really great coming out. And parks are looking for, you know, parks are, any park, doesn't matter if it's Six Flags, Cedar Fair, Kennywood, whatever, whoever it is, Dollywood, you know, list goes on. Just think of any park. If there is something new and cool, they will, what do you call it? Parks will roll the dice if they think it's cool. What you have is what Zamprella makes, what Huss currently makes, what Intamin makes or does not make. Whatever companies that are out there, that's what you're getting, because they're not thinking outside the box or not going back in the box to go back what they used to have and make a new version of that. They're not really doing that. Chance can do, you know, Chance took when they had the Unicoaster, right? It's basically like what we would call the like a looper at Knoebels or the rock and roll like at Rocky Point that we had. So that's what I'm getting at. That was their attempt. Then they try to make it more like a roller coaster with the version 2. They're slowly coming out with newer versions of what was old. But when you look at flat rides, it's either like swings, they spin in a circle, they spin or flip. That's all there is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's That's how that is. But now back to Jason's question, and I see everybody talking about this. And I seen him post this on Twitter actually earlier today, and I hit the like button. I didn't comment on it because I was at work. I forgot to comment on it. But I agree with him, even though what like Lindsay and everybody's saying down below in the chat, Six Flags isn't going to own them. That's being like franchise, like owning a McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts or a Subway. They're going to draw out the plans, tell you what to do, and you're going to pay Six Flags a boatload of cash. This is like easy money for Six Flags. They're going to get paid so much. I don't know the details of the deals. They're going to get a percentage. Like Subway's percentage was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8% a week of your money before profits, before taxes. They took like somewhere between 5 and 8% of your money. Did not matter. That was their fee for you using their name. You had to pay that every week. So Six Flags is going to have some kind of deal like that, where whatever park that is, they're going to have to dish out X amount of percent of money right off the top. And that's basically like a franchise deal, but they are, excuse me. But Six Flags itself need to, and I totally agree with you, Jason, on they need to fix a lot of their parks. You know what I'm saying? Like Six Flags, and it's not just Six Flags, because Cedar Fair parks have the same problem too. All parks do. See, here's the thing. When you become a chain of anything, you have a problem. You make X amount of dollars, you got X amount of debt, you got X amount of everything. Six Flags, I think, honestly, is stupidly expanding right now. I mean, they're buying up a lot of water parks. Water slides and stuff don't really cost a lot of money. That's a cheap money and cheap investment. It's not really a lot of money. But now, they picked up Frontier City. They picked up, what do you call it? Upstate New York there. Darien Lake. I think what they need to do is, I know they want to put something in new every year, and they're trying to add some type of new attraction every year. Now look at a park, because I'm from New England, so I'm going to use that as the example. A lot of us are from the area, some are out of the area, but regardless, Six Flags New England has room but doesn't have room. The rest of the room that they have needs to go through red tape because it's on wetlands. So in order for them to keep up, they need to remove rides. Now, don't get me wrong, Six Flags New England itself has a lot of rides it can remove. Once Cyborg opens, it can get rid of Kryptonite Collider, and that's why I think we're going to get the Zamperella in Denver ride, the New Age, because I know I'm not saying it right, but the New Age Enterprise can go right in Kryptonite Collider space, throw Kryptonite Collider away. You have Goliath and you have Flashback, basically next to each other, same type of ride. One's inverted, one's not. I can understand you got Sky Screamer, and then you got, what do you call it? Crime Wave. Totally two different rides. One, you got the really tall 400-foot thing, and then you got the short one. I don't see any reason to get rid of one of those two. You got Harley Quinn, and you got, what do you call it? Tomahawk. Two different rides. I get it. This pretty similar, different ride feeling. I feel that Tomahawk's on the way out. That's just my belief. I think Tomahawk is on the way out. That Huss ride's going bye-bye at some point. I don't know when. I don't have any inside, juice on it, but that's how I feel. All right, so the land behind Blizzard River, anything behind Blizzard River down in the Picnic Grove and all that, that's all wetland area. They can expand, but there's a lot of rules, regulations that they have to go through, because basically with wetlands, you cannot change the flow of the water. Like, you could put a steel coaster and make it go and make the supports go not in the area if you want to make it like go down the hill and come around. Because I do think at some point that Blizzard River is going to go. I don't know when, but I think they're going to remove that and put like a mid-tier coaster. Nothing huge. But they will put another coaster in that spot at some point. I'm telling you now. I mean, that ride itself has been on the chopping block for years. you know, and I think what Six Flags needs to do as a company. Now, I love Six Flags. I'm a huge fan of Six Flags. More than Cedar Fair, but then Cedar Fair parks are far away from me and I don't live near them. So when I get to them, I don't get me wrong, I love going to King's Dominion and Dorney and Kings Island and all. I absolutely positively love going to these parks. I'm not saying that this park is better than that park. I'm not playing the fanboy thing. Not at all. West Coast races. Do you think it'll be open this summer? Probably not. I don't know if you heard, Jason, but there was this rumor going around that they had to kind of quickly redesign some of the coaster because what we saw for a rendering would not fit in the land that they put. So they had to make it smaller, change the footers around, get different track made and stuff. So that's why it's a little bit of a delay. I mean, the ride's going up, but I honestly think that if it opens in the summer, it's going to be late. Like, I'm talking like end of July, beginning of August kind of opening. And if there's any problems, like once it's finished and they're testing, who knows? But I'm suspecting late July, early August is what I could be totally wrong. But that's what I'm guessing. Because the coaster is not done, so forget about Memorial Day weekend opening. No shot in hell. No shot. None. It would have already had to been done, and they would have already been doing testing. You know what I'm saying? So, but Six Flags can fix a few problems. And I made a video about how they can fix a bunch of problems. But, one, they need to raise the price. I did not post it on Facebook, Isabel, just because the crowd on Facebook is getting a little rowdy these days. I'm being pretty careful of what I've been putting on Facebook. Not to say that your video doesn't belong on Facebook. I'm just saying the crowd kind of is like, I'm going to post it up tomorrow anyway, regardless. But I'm waiting for the pitchforks and torches of the SFNE online fans to come stab me. You know, on the forums and all that. I'm waiting for them to stab me. So that's what I'm waiting on. But regardless anyway, I think if Six Flags raised the season pass prices so it's not a babysitting service, we need to get rid of the riffraff. That's part of it. And I've told Jen McGrath at Six Flags New England that, hey, raise the prices. You know, on the tickets and all that stuff. Oh yeah, the red light. Are you talking about going up the lift till the red light? They need to fix things. I saw something about that on the forums that I was scoping out, and what's his name? Dan, I think his name is, that operates Superman. If it doesn't affect the operation of the ride, that's on the back burner. Eventually they'll fix it, but right now that's not a priority. I agree. They need to fix the streets down. You know, they just need to paint the rides. They need to make sure, you know, the streets in the parks, their paths are good. Make sure all the rides are as much as up to snuff. Whatever. Oh, you saw that? Yeah, Sunday we went to the Riddle Room, and I think it's East Greenwich, Rhode Island, and we had just missed. We had like one more clue to go. We spent too much time on one thing. But yeah, nah, it was stupid. No, I don't want to say it was stupid. Like, we had fun doing it. It was just stupid that we couldn't figure out the last one. Then the lady came in the room and was like, yeah, sorry. I can't give you any more time. But almost. We want to go do it again. We want to find some new escape rooms to do. I'm probably going to make a video about that and talk about it, because it's really cool. And if you're in escape rooms, I think it's worth it. I actually had to use my brain, you know. You know, Joshua, the park said they were going to add more to Gotham City and the Riddler, and obviously they didn't. But they need it. I don't know. I don't know if it's budgetary. And again, it comes down to taking care of your parks. What does Jason say? I wish Six Flags would get their timelines a little bit more accurate when it comes to the up and coming new attractions for the year, like Pandemonium at Six Flags Over Georgia, than built yet. They what do you call it? Yeah, they the rule of thumb with all the rides. I mean, we've come to we've come to learn and hate and love and whatever about the rides. A ride like, now if I'm right, I could be wrong. You can correct me, Jason. Pandemonium's like our Harley Quinn, one of the pendulum rides, those giant pendulum rides. I believe that's what you guys are getting down there. What's with these private videos? It sounds like a... Never mind. There's kids in the room there. What's private? Why you guys got private videos? What's so private about them? I feel left out of the loop. Like, they're getting private videos with each other, and I'm feeling left out of the loop. I didn't get a private video. Like, I'd love for somebody to send me a video and go, "Hey Josh, what's up? Just want to say hi." You know, like a private video. Like, why don't I get one of them? Am I not special enough? No, I'm kidding. That just sounded creepy, but you get it. A ride like, anyway. So back to what Jason was saying with Pandemonium. So like a ride like Cyborg, a ride like Pandemonium, if that's the same ride. Oh, Luco's gonna send me a video. Woo! I'm getting a video. But no. Yeah, I know. I'm only busting chops. Those rides should be ready for opening day. I mean, look at like Copperhead Strike, ready for Carowinds opening day. There are some things that Cedar Fair does that's awesome. Now that's a major coaster for that park. It's not like a little dinky kiddie coaster. The rule of thinking that when I talk to Six Flags New England, like why they open rides when they do, is to make sure that the ride keeps that momentum and people coming to the park. And yes, I'm going to do Planet Coaster because before the show, I was building up a new park and already put in new flat rides. I did 2 of the new coasters. I did the spinny coaster, and you can build your own version of like the Copperhead Strike. Mine doesn't look anything like Copperhead Strike. But when this show is over, I am going to do a live Planet Coaster after I go upstairs, get a drink, get a snack, you know, and then come back down. But I already have the park all built up usually, you know, because I hate to do parks like build Planet Coaster Park when I start from the beginning. And I'm adding, you know, stuff for the employees and adding buildings and, you know, food and no, people don't want to see me building that up from the beginning. They want to see me building the rides and building the stuff. So I already got the paratrooper, the whip, the observation thing in there. I got the spinny coaster in there. I built my own whatever kind of thing going, you know. So, but what I'll do is like give me like 10, 15 minutes after the show, and then you can see all the new stuff that was added. Hey, what's up, Larry? What's up, Larry? But anyway, so like we were talking about early, rides like Pandemonium at over Georgia, rides like Cyborg at New England, stuff like that. That needs to be open on opening day. I don't care what their meaning and reasoning is. Oh, we need to make sure that, what do you call it? That we can, you know, keep that momentum in the, it's all about the PR and everything that they, you know, the parks are doing. To me, it's like a cop-out. Like, I love Jen McGrath. I think she's like the best communications manager we ever had at Six Flags New England. I love Six Flags, so if they happen to be listening to this, because sometimes they do, please don't take offense. I'm not like trashing the park or anything like that. I'm just saying, I think here's what I think about rides not opening. Flat rides should be open day one when they open that park. I don't care. It should, when that park opens in April or May or whenever the hell they're opening, flat rides should be open. those flat rides go up in a day or two, like completely done, wired, you know, after they've wired it and all that. Like after they've done all their other work, they just put the ride in the spot, put it together, test it for however long. It should be ready. I don't care what your marketing says, what your marketing does. Basically, what you need to do is you need to believe in your product. Have it open on opening day. Who gives a crap? Believe in your product, believe in your ride, and that will be the test. You could just keep promoting it, like I promote the Grove Show a lot, and people get mad about. But still, believe in your ride. If you don't believe in your ride, and you're trying to hold off to Memorial Day to get that summer crowd, you probably shouldn't have put the ride in. I'm just being honest. Just being honest, because, you know, I think it's stupid. Now, I'm not saying all parks do this. I mean, look at Kennywood. Kennywood is like a crap fest with rides. They just open them whenever. Same thing with Canopy Lake. You know, Universal, Disney, they all do that stuff. Yeah, when you got Fiesta Texas and Magic Mountain, two totally different things. They can start and build and open whenever. You know, I'm going to put a new ride in. Here you go. But the Magic Mountain thing, that was a screw up somewhere from somebody, you know, with the West Coast races. Again, I know why Six Flags, just because that's just what I know. I don't know how Cedar Fair's thinking, what their marketing is, but if Six Flags should just get their act together. Anything, I mean, they could get a new coaster, and I know it's a bit more difficult up here in New England with the, you know, like with a normal winter with the snow and it's really freezing. You're not going to get most roller coasters open. I'll give them a pass on that, and I would say a roller coaster, you know, I would give the pass for Memorial Day on that, just because of the winters. I get it. It's not like, you know, like Carowinds, they get a little bit of a cold winter, not extreme like they do up here. But a flat ride, that should be done. That should be open on opening day. Any flat ride you put in should be open on opening day, unless while they're trying to test it, there's problems. There are some unforeseen circumstances that would, you know, negate that fact of ever happening, and I get it. But come on. Any flat ride that's going into any park should be ready for the park opening day. Again, and I will repeat it, and I will say it 5 million times. If you do not believe in your ride that you put in the park, do not put that ride in. Open it on opening day, and let the ride dictate your year. Because it doesn't matter how much promotion you're going to do. If people don't like Cyborg, it doesn't matter if you put it on opening day or you put it on Memorial Day. You just delayed the hate from April to the end of May, beginning of June. That's all you did. Now, I know I'm going to like Cyborg, and I'm going to tell you why. I've ridden rides like that. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, you know, but I like the spinning ride like that. Indoor ride, I loved when Kryptonite, excuse me, when it used to be called the Joker's Wild Card, was indoors. It was awesome. Lights, music, puke, everything. It was awesome. It was awesome. Now, so there's no excuse. Yeah, indoor ride, especially for Cyborg, there's no excuse why they should not be having that. That should have already... I'm beating up my microphone thing. It should already be open. But I do know when I was at the park in March, when I did that meeting that I do with the park, they at that point in March they were still waiting approval for the artwork and some different stuff. What do you call it? That from Warner Brothers to what do you call it? You know, they had to wait for approval. So we know that they're testing the ride. They're doing the stuff now. It's just a shame that they can't have this stuff done. Like, they're announcing a ride. That stuff should already be... When you're approving a ride, you know, when you're announcing to the world in your cringy, cool, awesome announcement videos, because I love those, that the Six Flags CEO does. I love them. I think they're awesome, even though they're cringy and all that. I still think they're awesome. I don't care what anybody says. But if you have a ride at that point and it's announced in that video, then everything should be approved. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how they work. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm not in the office when they're making phone calls and sending emails and letters and sending a pigeon to Warner Brothers about stuff. I don't know. I don't know. You know. Yeah, I see Larry, the weather, I was going to go Saturday. And because originally I wanted to go on Easter. But everybody's complaining about, oh, he's not going to go to Six Flags on Easter. He's not going to be here. Like, life don't stop because I didn't go. Go have Easter. Go look for Easter eggs. I'm not into Easter. I am not a religious, I believe in a higher power, that there's a God, but religion I don't buy into. And I'm not going to knock you if you love religion. I'm not saying I'm an atheist. I'm just saying I don't believe in religion. I believe in a higher power, but I do not believe in religion, and that's not for this. But I'm just saying, I go to the Church of Six Flags on Easter. I've done it since like 2007, 8, whenever they started doing that. But back that far, you know, it could be Jim Reed Anderson retiring could be a good and a bad thing. And I'm going to add, my opinion on this is it could be good because you get some new blood. Like what Jim Reed Anderson has done for Six Flags since it came out of bankruptcy has done amazing things. All around, I mean, some parks got screwed and some parks did not get. There's always some Six Flags. I'm not going Sunday. I wish I was. But again, there are some things that he has done that were amazing. And so, but the bad could be that, you know, when he wasn't CEO for that 1 year and they had that other guy, and I can't remember his name, he did not, what do you call it? There was already plans in place, so there wasn't really anything for him to destroy or not, you know, Six Flags was still doing their thing. Whoever it is, I honestly feel needs to change course. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy. Now, Six Flags was to hire me as a CEO. This is what I would do if I was hired as CEO. I know it's not going to happen. I probably don't have the resume to being a coaster enthusiast and enthusiast of theme parks does not qualify me to run Six Flags. Now, I run my own business and do very well for myself, but that doesn't qualify me to run a Six Flags. But if I did run, if they said, you, Mr. Josh of the Grove Show, are now the CEO of Six Flags, what are you going to do? I'm going to go to Disney. No, I'm not. I would take a look at all the parks. This is what I would do. And this new CEO needs to do this, whoever it is. You need to go and visit every park. You need to look around. You need to take an inventory of what you got. You need to see what's crap, what's on the way out. You need to talk to your teams that are at the park. The people that are there all year round, the full-timers that are there. Not the what do you call it? Not the teenagers that don't care about being there. Then what you need to do is you really look. We all know Six Flags Great Adventures, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Great America, and Six Flags Over Georgia are the parks that get mostly everything. You know, New England has been lucky and gotten some cool stuff. We've gotten some crap stuff. I'm not complaining. You can't have a good year every year. I'm not complaining. We've been spoiled too. But like, look at parks like St. Louis, America, Great Escape, Lerone. Those parks need some love. I understand when I've talked to some people that have worked at Great Escape, it's a certain criteria of clientele that are going in there and they need to get their return on investment. And they don't get it as quick as like New England or other parks get it. So with that being said, it's a tough game. It's a tough game to play. But if I was a CEO, I would once in a while throw these parks that don't get as much love a bone. You have to. Because if you don't, these parks go down the toilet. Now look in Cedar Fair's case, look at Dorney. Dorney's been getting, I don't even want to say it, there's little kids present in this chat. But you get the idea. They've been, you know, They've been getting messed with. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. And they haven't been getting what they want or need. Dorney can be such an awesome park, and it's not. Because of obvious reasons. Great Escape can be even better. I'm not saying it's going to be on a top tier Six Flags, but it does need some stuff. All parks. So a new CEO needs to come in, and he needs to look at all the parks. Throw some bones every now and then to them other ones. Right? Then you need to take care of the parks. That's number one. You don't, as much as we want an attraction every year, you don't have to put an attraction in every year. Six Flags New England is a prime example, is running out of real estate to put rides. So what they need to do, yeah, it's pretty sad. And then the stuff that Dorney's been getting have been hand-me-downs. That's the problem. But in any case, so they need to take, instead of buying a ride, take a year or two off of rides. I don't care. Make the parks look great. Repaint everything. Fix the pathways. Make sure you spend the money on training your employees. They need to stop hiring idiots at these parks that do not care. That's why you go to any Six Flags, you got long lines at food, rides, tickets, Flash Pass, whatever. They do not care. Now, I'm not saying not everybody. I'm just saying that there's a majority of workers that are there for, one, to get a paycheck, to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, make some friends, and just somewhere to hang out with. You know? And maybe Six Flags needs to go down that route, Lindsay. With Cedar Fair is now starting with experiences and restaurants instead of big investments. You know, and I really think, in my heart of hearts, I think, what's the point of, all right, so this year we're getting Cyborg, right? What did we get last year? What did we get last year? We got Harley Quinn. Now, Harley Quinn is good. But you also got like a repaint and investment in Mind Eraser to the Riddler. Okay, I get it. You got, I'll be honest, some cheaply Gotham City decoration. Now, granted, I like what they did to Gotham City. They redid the outside of the buildings. They put a few signage things here and there. It needs more. It doesn't look like a Gotham City. It just looks like it's pretending to be a Gotham City because of some signs. Let's all be honest. It's pretending to be a Gotham City because of signs and because you named rides. Now, I get it. They're not Disney. They're not Universal. They don't have that crazy money to theme. You know, they can't spend all that extra money on theming. I get it. But let's face it. Why, you know, people are giving Jerry Brick a bunch of crap about the way he's adding attractions. Honestly, I think he's doing it right. Now, what I'm telling you right now, and the reason why I'm telling, for those that don't know who Jerry Brick is, he's the park president, the general manager of Lake Compounce. What he is doing, because he told me what he was doing. He told me to my face, which is cool. But he has the budget, and I've said this before. He has the budget to buy that, what the hell they call that ride that's at Lake Compounce? It rocks back and forth and spins. I forgot the Revolution. He has the company gives him that amount of money every year to buy a ride. So whatever that ride costs, that's what he gets for a budget every year to buy a new ride. He does not want to do that because he wants to save that money every year and buy a big ride. So you're going to get 3 or 4 years, he says, with no ride. But when you get a ride, it's going to be a bigger ride. And then there's some problems with some rides, and they're trying to keep them together and working and safe so that they can replace them with something else. I honestly think Six Flags needs to go that route too. It's not, trust me, it's not going to hurt them to take a year off. You know what I'm saying? You're planning on doing an animal, it depends on the animal documentary, Cordy Gurley. I would watch it. You know who would love to watch that? Jessica would watch that. You know why? Jessica loves animals. And then if you ever talk to Jessica about animals, she does this ridiculous, crazy, high pitch that hurts dogs' ears noise. I can't do it. It's like an excitement of stuff. You know, Jason says, if I was CEO, y'all might get mad. I would keep Magic, Great Adventure Fiesta on the Big Six. That's it. Well, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think the big parks in the chain, I don't know, like, I think it goes Magic Mountain, Great Adventure, and then it probably switches. I know they go back and forth with, like, attendance-wise. And then I think it's, like, Over Georgia, Great America, and then I think it's, like, Six Flags New England. See, 1, 2, 3. I know Six Flags New England at one point was in the top 5 most attended Six Flags parks. I don't have a list of all the Six Flags attendance, but I know, what year was that? 2012 or 13 or 14, somewhere between 2012 and 2015. Six Flags New England was in the top 5 most attended Six Flags parks, which is weird, but it was. I mean, here's the problem, though. I mean, I know what you're saying, Charles, too. You know, I like Lindsay's idea. I think that would be the best way to go. Truthfully. Lindsay's way would be the best way to go. So the problem, and I understand where Jason's coming from, and nobody's mad or hating on you or nothing, Jason, about this. Charles is right, because you do potentially skip out on profits. Like, all the parks make money. Just some. Yeah, I've heard of Costa Studios, Cordy Gurley. Just some obviously make more than others. Like, the bottom of the 2 worst, what we call attended Six Flags parks, are Great Escape and Lagoon. Those are the 2 worst. You know, like, least attended, but they make money. You know what I mean? Like, they make money. They may not make as much money, obviously, as like a Great Adventure or Magic Mountain, et cetera, et cetera. But I understand where Charles is coming from. But Lindsay Yale Entertainment does have, I think, would probably be the best idea. So it's kind of like, I mean, the big 6. Those are probably your big 6 in parks. That's probably the top 6 parks in the chain. Discovery Kingdom might flip with Great America, because Great America might be more popular than Discovery Kingdom. I'm not sure. I've never been to that park, so I don't know. But regardless of that, you should keep all the parks that you currently have. If one of them starts on a continuous, yeah, the 2 worst with the operating options. Now, say Great Escape and Lagoon are losing them constant crazy money. They would eventually get rid of those parks. Eventually they would. There's no doubt in my mind that they would. They're not going to... If they weren't making them money, they would have gotten rid of the parks. End of story. They would have gotten rid of them. Again, it's just... But the problem is now you stretch... Now, I get it. Now you're stretching yourself like really thin. Because now, as you keep building your repertoire and your catalog of parks that you own, you got to start spreading cash out. So, with that being said, Lindsay Yale Entertainment's idea comes in better. Pick 10 Six Flags, 10 parks get investment they can promote. The others get restaurant, trains, repairs, etc. And then you can flip it. You know what I'm saying? So... And I get this, like, take your 10 parks, not including the water parks, and just do that. You know what I'm saying? So, you could take, how many, well, here's the question. How many parks do they own? Let's look at this for a second. Let me think about it. So, you have Magic Mountain, Discovery Kingdom, You have Fiesta Texas over Texas. You have Great America. You have America. You have over Georgia. You have New England. Did I say Great Adventure? I don't remember. I don't know how many parks there are. Take out the separate gated water parks. Magic Mountain, Discovery Kingdom, over Texas, Fiesta Texas, Great America, America, over Georgia, New England, Great Adventure, Great Escape, Lagoon, Frontier, whatever you call it, Frontier City, Mexico, and Darien Lake. So what is that, 14 actual parks? Forget the water park aspect. Water park's cheap. That's not going to kill the budget. Water slides are, for the most part, like under $1 million. I know to us that's a lot of money, but to them that's really not much. So, oh yeah, I forgot St. Louis. So it's like, what, 15? I would say take 9 parks every year and just do a rotation. You know, one park is going to get another year in a row, and then they get a year. You know what I'm saying? So if they got 15 theme parks, take 9 parks every year, and they're going to get a big investment. The other 8 parks are going to, okay, we'll see when you come back. And then the other, so if there's 9, so then there's what, 8 left, right? No, 7. Wait, 7 and 7. So take 8. Yeah, take 8, and then the other 7. I'm bad at math. Sorry, guys. I need a calculator for things. But take the 8, right? Take 8 every year. 8 parks are going to get something new every year. One park, obviously, the following year is going to get another good attraction to. And then the other 7 are going to get like that. That's a really good. That's a really good thought, and just doing that. That way you save some money. Money can go to water parks and whatever. You can build up your restaurants. You don't have to worry about trying to dig up what do you call it? Dig up land or try to find a place to put a ride. And then if a ride breaks and blows up and they got to get rid of it, well, they could take that ride out of operation and, get a new ride for the next year. Or if it's not the year, they wait another year and it's just a ride not in the park, and then the new ride reappears in the year after. That way you have money for maintenance. Your parks get done right. You get to add more stuff, and they can kind of slow it down a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to that, I feel like it's just like, is it me, or is it just like an ever-ending cycle and things just keep going, So I don't know. It's just one of those crazy things that I feel like if there was a new CEO, these are the things. See, I love when we have these discussions in this show, because we figure things out for them. Sometimes they listen and actually listen to the ideas. Sometimes they don't. But yeah. Hey, Lindsay Yale Entertainment brought that idea up. I think at some point we would have come up with that, but he's the one that struck the gold on it. Again, I understand where Jason's coming from on this, because a lot of people would say, take the ones that make the most money and invest in that. Because look, at the end of the day, I don't know about everybody else. We all love our Six Flags or Cedar Fair parks or whatever parks we love that are, for me, I feel blessed to have the parks around me that I do. I got Lake Compounce. I got Six Flags in New England. I got Canopy Lake. Within 2 hours, I can go to Funtown, Splash Town in Maine. I can go to Palace Playland. I can drive a little further, going, in New Hampshire up in the White Mountains. I can go to Storyland or Santa's Village, which are great places, and I love them. We also have Quasi down pat, heading down towards like Great Adventure in Connecticut, And there's a lot of cool parks around me. They're not huge, gigantic, great adventures or over Georges or Magic Mountains, and I get it. You know? So, this was... Yeah, I mean, think about it. People are going to the parks regardless. You know what I mean? Like somebody like Dorney Park or Michigan's Adventure, they really need something. Like if they add something, bam, that attendance is going to jump. Like, for example, like with Six Flags America, when they added, what was that, Wonder Woman, the Sky Screamer, they had like crazy season pass sales, more than double, triple than they've ever had in a long, long time. So, because it was something new, and it was something new to the area, you know, down in D.C., and people were excited. I agree with you totally that having rides every year, it does take the excitement out. And here's the problem about this, too, is when you're promising something new every year, you can't get a $20 million coaster every year. When you look at the forums, you know, for SFNEOnline, you look at any posts we make, if you look at any coaster enthusiast fan Twitter account, Facebook account, Instagram, and you look at the comments, what does everybody want? A new roller coaster every year. I mean, do people think like money grows on trees to get a coaster I don't want just a coaster park. I want to be able to like go to different new exciting rides, get into classic rides. You know, I would like to see shows come back. They're not even doing shows. I mean, New England was never known for their shows. I know, like down in Texas, I believe Georgia is good and known for some of their shows. New England's never been known for their shows. Now they've been stepping it up when you got like Graveyard Groove and what do you call it? Frost. People like the that summer show that I can't stand for some reason. I know some people love it. What do they call that show? In the theater at Six Flags New England. I forgot. I wasn't a fan of it regardless anyway. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. I like all aspects. Jason, here's the thing. Not many parks, totally timeless, there you go. There's not a lot of parks that take pride in making their parks look beautiful. And I don't mean just like upkeep and putting a few flowers in. I am talking the whole package. Look at like Disney parks. Universal does it. Busch Gardens does it. SeaWorld does some great like upkeep and beautiful of the parks. You know what I'm saying? Six Flags does not. Like if you, I don't know how old you are, Jason. I don't know if Larry and Charles may be on the same page with me. I forgot how old Charles is, but that doesn't matter. At least I know with Larry. Larry's older than I am. But I can remember in New England in particular, we had Rocky Point. We had Lincoln Park. We had Whalen Park. There was a whole bunch of other parks that don't exist anymore, unfortunately. All right, so you know Charles, so you know where I'm going with this. There's a lot of parks down in the New England area that were beautiful. Like, see, Jason Spoil, he lives in Florida. He gets the SeaWorlds, the Busch Gardens, the Disneys and the Universal, the beautiful landscape, and that's what I mean, the whole total package. You want the total package, go to Florida, go to Virginia to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, because Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Virginia wins best, park for that stuff, with the flowers and all that, like, all that. There's a reason they take pride in making their buildings look good, the taking care of the property and the flowers and how everything's done. Parks used to be like that back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And then all these parks go belly up, and it's all about making a buck. They don't care what it looks like. If people are still paying to get in the door, they're having a great time. It looks okay, but it doesn't look like the good old days. And that's a problem. I see that all the time. And I, just like you, Jason, I think the same thing. I have not seen a Cedar Fair park yet. And don't get me wrong, I haven't been to all of them. I've been to Dorney. I've been to Kings Island, Cedar Point, Kings Dominion, Carowinds. I know there's more for me to go to. But none of those parks. The closest one I would think would be like Kings Dominion. Especially like when you go to, what is that, Apple, whatever Groove area, you know, with the apples and the flowers, like, you know, with the singing mushrooms and stuff like that. That area is what I'm talking about. That nostalgic, like, it's really clean. The what I call decorating with the flowers and how everything's set up. That is like not the whole park is like that, but that one area is what I'm talking about. That how parks used to be. Everywhere. Every park used to be like that. Didn't matter how big or small. People took pride in making their parks look beautiful. They spent the money on the proper landscaping, making sure all their buildings were painted, and making sure, you know, you had cool garbage cans, and you had, like, the rides were always painted. Everything was always done. And today, they do not take that kind of pride. I will challenge and trash talk, not in a disrespectful way, to any Six Flags park, because I guarantee you if they go, well, look at what we do, and I'll go, BS, because it don't look like anything. I'm going to say, you know what? Get off your high horse, go down to these parks, and make it feel like the old days when people actually took pride to make sure everything was painted. You didn't have a bunch of BS going on, and it was a great time. It was a great time at one time. So now if you want that beautiful landscape, you want the things to look great and taken care of, you got to go to Florida. You got to go to Busch Gardens and Williamsburg. I don't know if anybody, Charles or Larry or Jason, I don't know if you understand what I'm going with at this, but I am telling you, it can be done. They just won't do it because it probably eats into their profits. They don't want to spend the money for that. They want to keep putting banners and ads about different memberships. I agree with you, Jason. I don't need a 300 or 400 foot coaster because you know what? Look at, like, no, don't get me wrong. Top Thrill Dragster, great coaster. I love King Dakar. I know it rattles and it shakes your brain a little bit, you know. I'm not a huge fan of Millennium Force. I know I catch hell for that. I'm not a huge fan of Fury. I catch hell for that. I'm not saying they're total crap coasters, but they're not my favorites. But regardless of that, you know, we can agree to disagree, whatever. But I would rather have the park looking good. I mean, even as a kid, I remembered, like, looking in awe and how great, like, the carousels were taken very good care of. You didn't have this, like, 6-year project to get a carousel repainted. Like, it was done. I mean, everybody, the maintenance people took pride in painting their rides. It was, like, their thing. People today don't give a crap. You know what I mean? No, most people don't care. It's just like, what can you do for me? Or I'll get to it when I feel like it. That's the attitude. You know, they're totally missing it. They all these park chains like Cedar Fair and Six Flags, they needed a new direction. Like if you look at Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Disney, and Universal, they get it. They get it. Now, and by all means, I'm not saying Disney and Universal and SeaWorld parks are perfect by any means. I've seen some things that weren't perfect, but the core happiness, as Charles is saying, and what I am saying about stuff, I totally feel that. Now, maybe because, you know, like between myself and Jason and Charles and Larry, that we're older than most people, right? Than most people that are watching. And by all means, I'm not taking a dig, but I want to make sure that as I would, not that we're that old, but we'll just call ourselves old timers compared to the youngins in this chat. We need to educate these young the young guys and girls that are watching this show. And the reason why I say that is maybe we can teach them when they get into if they get into the business, or maybe parks that do watch this time to time see this and go, oh, you know what? These guys are right. The world moves so quick. The millennial kids don't give a crap. They just want an experience. They want it now. And they just, hey, I'm 41, so I'm older than you there, buddy. So if you're an old fart, I must be dust. And I don't know what, and then if that's the case, I don't know what Larry would be considered. If you're old fart, I'm dust. I don't know what Larry would be. But, you know, and the one thing that I hate in this enthusiast community is when you're trying to educate somebody younger or new into the hobby, don't be a dick. We don't need to be jerks to these. Now, I know like there's a lot of young kids that watch this, right? And a lot of kids think they know it all. Even though we've been around the block, we've seen, we know. And it's just like when we were their age, we thought we knew it all. We thought we were on top of the world until somebody basically pounded us into the ground and was like, hey, shut up and pay attention. And we didn't want to. We thought we knew it all. I try to keep everything as positive as possible. I'm trying to set the trend that nobody gets bullied, because I've been getting bullied my whole life, even in the forums of my own website, which is kind of funny. But I just want to make sure that we're going to educate these kids a respectful way. We're not going to bully them. We're not going to call them stupid. We're not going to tell them that their opinion doesn't matter. We're not going to just be like, you're wrong and you're an idiot. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. I just want to make sure, even going forward, that, and Charles knows how I am, especially for the new people that are watching this show. I want people to be able to watch this week in, week out, have fun, join in the chat, throw in their 2 cents in the chat, or even after the show is in. And I want everybody to help educate each other. I am never going to say that I am the almighty master Yoda creator of knowing it all, because I don't. Holy crap, Lindsay Yale Entertainment's gone for a while, and it comes out with there is, what, 1,816,214,400 different ways you could choose 9 parks to invest in per year. Holy crap. I think Lindsay Yale Entertainment is Doctor Strange, in a sense. But yeah, so anyway, before I become a huge bagwin, because there are a couple of the topics that I do want to move on to. But anybody that's new here, make sure that when you come here, we keep a positive attitude. And if something's wrong, I don't always research everything. I don't. I read an article, and it could be the wrong article. I could read a little bit of something because I just saw it pop up before the show, but I will never say that I know it all. I will never say I'm perfect, and people correct me, and that's fine. But when we do this with each other, make sure that we just do it in a respect. I don't want anybody to be bullied, and I don't want anybody not to come into the chat or chat on a video, you know, because that's like that seems to be the cool new thing in this world. Let's bully somebody and trash talk them. We don't do that here. If I could find the people that did it, I would kick their butt, because I don't want to see, you know, I got bullied and beat up, and then I finally started kicking butt when I got older. But come on now. Anyway, so what's the rest of the stupid news things? This has been a great night, great conversation. I love when we have great conversations like this. Makes me all warm and fuzzy. To end the Six Flags stuff, there's 2 things that we need to talk about for Six Flags. Six Flags New England, if you go this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, when you walk in the door on Saturday and Sunday, they're going to give you a scratch-off card. It's called the Mystery Egg. You can win some prizes if you go to New England. Six Flags, as a company, they restructured their debt so so comes 2024, they don't have any debt coming up before that like they were gonna. So it basically says they entered a new 7-year, $800 million senior secured term loan facility and a 5-year, $350 million senior secured revolving credit facility. The proceeds will be used to refinance the $584 million outstanding term loan B on the company's prior credit facilities, to pay off the balance of the prior revolving credit facility, and for general corporate purposes, including share repurchases and payment of refinancing fees. And it says the company's borrowing rate at the new term loan will be LIBOR plus 200 base points with the zero floor at the LIBOR rate, whatever the hell that means. I'm not a stock genius. In addition, the agreement provides the company with more flexible covenants, and as a result of the financing, the company now has no debt maturities prior to 2024. So they did good. They did good. Well, my phone's on at all times, all the time. My phone's been on for hours. My phone crashes too, though. So we talked about Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. We talked about Tampa. Kennywood has become another certified autism center. I think eventually all the parks, as time goes on, will eventually. It just seems more and more. I still find it awesome. It's starting to become not newsworthy because everybody's jumping on that bandwagon now. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying it took out its cool factor. Because, like, all the SeaWorld parks were doing it, and now, like, this one's doing it. That one's doing it. This one's doing it. I don't think we need to keep... I mean, I'm going to keep saying, hey, this one became, but it's not really... It's exciting, but it's not really newsworthy anymore. Because we've talked about it so many times. It's a great thing to do. Because the disabled autism kids need a place to, like, get away. Just to kind of... so they can calm down, get in their Zen mode, get chill... We've said this before in a past show. Amusement parks are a huge sensory overload. Even for a person that's not disabled or has autism, it's still a huge sensory overload. And that's Jim Reed Anderson stalking his exit, which isn't a bad thing. No, it's not. And like I said, his exiting can be a good or a bad thing. It depends who they hire for the CEO and what plans they have. Are they going to continue his way? Jim Reed Anderson's way, or is he going to try something different? Hopefully they try the ideas that we talked about, because I think our ideas are better than those current ideas. Let's be honest, folks. I totally think between all of us chit-chatting and bringing ideas and Lindsay's Yale Entertainment first coming up with that idea, I think his idea, I think, is the best idea. That's what it used to be. Before the bankruptcy, kind of. It wasn't every year you were getting something. And then it changed. Late Compounce, the only thing new, but isn't new, is Daniel Tiger is returning for 2019. No new rides, so most likely, when I talked to Jerry Brick last year, he said 2020 would be the next year of a ride. Most likely, he didn't say what. I kind of guessed. He didn't say yeah or no, but my feeling is it's going to be a water park ride. Probably like a water park expansion. And I don't know what anybody is doing tomorrow night. I know this is messed up what I'm about to say. If you live in the Connecticut area, and what is it, Stratford, Stanford, whatever it is, Fright Haven, the haunted house that's open, Halloween time, they literally do every event. Every holiday. They did Christmas. I haven't gone there yet. This is the first time. And this is gonna this benefits more the Haunapalooza stuff than it does SFNEOnline. Sorry guys. But I spoke with the owner of the haunt the other day. I did get permission to film the entire haunt. I cannot post the entire haunt. I can take little tiny pieces and do a review about it. And that's what we're gonna be doing tomorrow night. Matter of fact, I gotta charge up my night vision cameras for this. Then I will do a review. It'll go on the Haunapalooza podcast. If you're into the haunted house thing, I know a lot of people aren't. I know a lot of people are. But if you are, the other channel that I do, because the next topic is going to be talking about FearTown, the movie. So those that have no idea, we're going to talk about that, what happened on Saturday, and the cool things that have transpired since then. Because there are some good stories that are being told from what happened at that party. Some awesome things that happened. So, yeah. So, anyway, from 7 to 10 p.m. tomorrow night in Connecticut, Fright Haven, they're doing Rotten Tales Revenge. So, it's an Easter-themed haunt with the killer Easter bunny named Rotten Tales. And so, that should be different. Hey, John, I seen your text. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you on that. I'll get back to you after the show about that. The text you sent me. It's been crazy. Lagoon. That's a park I have not been to yet. I haven't reached out that way yet to go to there. The only thing I've seen all the great stuff that comes out of Lagoon. I'm a bit jealous of the people that go to Lagoon. And I saw a little something, and I don't remember what it was. You know, I honestly wouldn't even know where to throw the dot on the board for Lagoon. I'm not too familiar with the park to go, yeah, they could use this, or they could use that, or they could use this. Because they have like this weird, unique lineup of rides that, watch, I'm gonna pull up, Jason, while I'm looking this up, what do you think? Because, hang on, rides and attractions. I want to look at the, what they have. So they have Cannibal. That was like this crazy thing. Matter of fact, that type of ride style is what they added into Planet Coaster, so to speak. Except this one, not only, it's like Smiler. It has the lift like this. I mean, you can't see it there, but it has the lift, but it also has a launch portion, and I don't think Cannibal has a launch. So they got Bombora, that looks like a family kid coaster. The roller coaster, a wooden coaster. They got Puff, the little fire dragon. They got Bat, a kitty. Invert, Colossus. What else they got here? I'm looking. I know they have more coasters than what they got. Yeah, Wicked. And then they got a Wild Mouse. Was there any clues as to what was going on? Oh, good. I'll be mad if I still can't get on Wicked Cyclone. No, I'm not knocking John. I know John is a big fellow like me. He's a little bigger than me, but I'm not. Please don't take it, John, as a me making fun of you. When my best, one of my good friends, Marcus Bean, he lives out in Texas. He came up. He's larger than I am, and we were talking about it. He couldn't believe that him being larger than me, he got on it, and I had to do the walk of shame on Wicked Cyclone. That had never happened to me before on Wicked Cyclone. I've always gotten on it. Even when it was tight and they stapled me in, I'm fat. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I'm not, hey, what's up? Glad to see you back, QWERTY girly. I am not, like, talking trash about that's me being fat. I like to eat. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I like to eat, but I look at people that are larger than me getting on the ride, and then I get told to pound sand and walk. It's kind of like whoever saw the FearTown movie that I edited and released when we were in the pig area, and the guy goes, hit the bricks, loser. That's what they said to me, basically, at Wicked Cyclone, without saying hit the bricks. Hey, I'm a fat guy, and please, John, don't... I hate saying, like, someone's bigger than me, or fatter than me. You know, I'm not trying to be rude. I just feel bad saying that, but it's in context. Trying to, you know. It's crazy. Poor Volcano, never. I don't know, but anyway, so looking at what they have, obviously it's not, it's going to have to be something good. I honestly don't even know what they would put in, because it's tough. Obviously, it's not going to be in-house like, well, I mean, you don't know. It depends on how much. Did they say what the budget was? I'm trying to see. Oh wait, I'm looking at Screamscape. See what they say. The only thing that Screamscape says right now for 2020, Dracula Castle upgrade. Then there's a pre-immortal rumor thing. Yeah, talking about similar in size to Cannibal, but a totally different attraction with a unique theme. I don't know. Yeah, they can actually. They don't bother my nuggets. Well, actually, all I did was I typed Lagoon Park 2020. That was the first thing that came up. Somebody's got, like, they were trying to make it out of maybe Planet Coaster or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't. Somebody else had. Where did I see that? Somebody had an article from March 14th that said Lagoon's new ride could be ready as early 2021. The popular Cannibal ride at Lagoon was a 7-year project with 2.5 years of construction. The new ride proves to be similar type of project he added. It's something specific for Lagoon. It's one of a kind. Wasn't sure the total cost. Yeah, there's not too much known, but whatever it is, I'm intrigued. I mean, I was intrigued when I heard about Cannibal. Like, when I heard about Cannibal coming and, you know, more stuff was coming, and I'm like, oh, all right. I mean, I do got to get to the park. I got to stop being like a, you know, just going, yeah, I'm going to go, and then don't go. Then I'm going to go. Then, you know, I just got to go. That's legit. That's all there is to it. I just need to stop saying I'm going to go and just go. That's my problem. I'm like, yeah, I got to go, and then I do not go. Like a ding-dong. All right, so what I want to talk about briefly, and then whatever else comes up in the chat. Saturday, that's why I didn't go to the park, was the FearTown Extreme Fears movie that it took me forever and a day to edit. So basically, for those that do know, you know the story, you know what's going on. Those that watch, those that didn't watch, FearTown is a haunted house in Seekonk, Massachusetts, behind the Seekonk Speedway. During the regular haunt season, it's regular. After Halloween, the weekend after Halloween, like right after Halloween, it's full contact, Extreme Fears, and you can see that movie, and it was crazy. Now, let me tell you, what I did was we put it on YouTube Premiere on our other channel that we have called the Hauntapalooza Podcast, which is everything to do with haunted houses, with theme parks, not in theme park, anything to do with the haunt industry. That's where it is. Sometimes we try to do music reviews or horror movie reviews. You know, and we work. We've only done one episode on the podcast. We got to do more, but what I will say is, and I know Lindsay Yale Entertainment was watching because we were chatting in the chat during the YouTube premiere. You can go to that and you can watch it anytime you want now. It played live like this, like the Grove Show. So you couldn't fast forward it, whatever. So the owner, the Giggles the Clown in the clown scene, and the guy that was in the Christmas scene, he had the antlers on and the red nose like Rudolph. We're at the house, and one of the guy's girlfriends was there. And they watched the movie. Now, I was really nervous about this because I didn't know what anybody was going to think. We don't really get scared. Jessica and Danielle, they jump and scream and hoot and holler. But someone like me, people try all the time. And actually, Jeremy got me the other day, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And which is a rarity to get me. I was just zoning out, not paying attention, and he got me. So I didn't know what the viewers were gonna think, you know, when it came time. And I have to say, overwhelming response with everybody. People loved it. I was happy about that. And now the crazy things that happened, the owner loved it. The owner thought it was great, edited well. They saw scenes and stuff they want to use to do promotion, like to promote the haunt. They loved it. But the funny thing about all this, by the time they left, they wanted to hire Jeremy, the 14-year-old, to work at their haunt, even though he can't, because you have to be 16 to work there. But we might like do a one night like thing. They were like, one of the guys was like, you need to bring him to a bar, an open mic right now. The world needs this kid. So that was funny. So we're gonna go down there one night and we're not gonna get paid or anything. We're just gonna work to see how Jeremy works and how things do things and whatever. And not during FearTown Extreme Nights, regular to do it. And then they were like, we need to hire this kid before some other haunt does. They wanted to see if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. But yeah, they wanted to do that. And what is this? Oh yeah, I'm just trying to get. I want to check something out stat wise. Well, we jumped up quite a bit in subscribers. We were at 39. Now we're at 56 over there. How many? Oh yeah, videos. I want to see how many views the movie's got. Oh, that's the trailer. Oh wow, the trailer finally bumped up. Wow. Where's the movie? Oh. Let's see. 289 views. I'm proud of that. So if there's anybody that has not watched it, I'll put the link down after the show to the movie, as well as Isabel's vlog. You know, when we get out of here later, I'll put those two links down below in the description. You can come back to it later, and you can check it out if you want. If Haunted House. Now, like Lindsay Yale Entertainment said earlier in the show that he found it funny and all that, we were finding it funny too, because if you saw some of the scenes in it, like, I was cracking up editing it. Jessica was losing it during it, like laughing her ass off. We do have, what do you call it? There are deleted scenes. Now, what I mean when I say deleted scenes, it's not deleted in the sense that something of the experience was cut out. Instead of putting everybody going through with a bag over the head, we only put Luco. You could see a couple people lining up to get it on, but it just gets to the point. I think people would have kind of been like, okay, I get it. Everybody got a bag over their head and things happen. Matter of fact, today, the bag over the head, with everybody else that didn't make it are in it. We did the Halloween Sucks deleted scene, the Christmas presents, because there was two groups. It was me, Luco, Danielle, and Jimmy in one group and everybody else in the other group. So you see Oz for the Halloween Sucks is in the movie, and the Christmas present is them, so I put deleted scenes of vice versa, if that makes sense. And then we have one more of, I don't know how many that did watch it, but the scene, Luco and I watched the movie Friday night before we released it to the world. And there's a scene near the end that we sit in, it looks like a little church. We sit on the pews, whatever, the benches, and the lady stands at the podium and she's like, oh, I thank you for coming in. And I'm like, I scream out, I'm glad to be here. And then she's talking about her dead daughter. So I sound like a total jerk. It is what it is, you know. And but I can't say it on the microphone because it's really naughty. But I think tomorrow, Saturday, it comes out, I think. Go to the Haunted-Palooza channel. Watch that deleted scene. It's called Jessica Goes to Awake or something like that. And watch the scene, and you will laugh your butt off. Just because of what she says, and then what she says after what she says, we were dying. Was it Toshiba is the coaster coming to American Dream, which should be awesome. Is that the one that's like Cannibal, but with a launch section in it? Is that what it is? Because that's the coaster. That's one of the coasters that was added. It looks kind of like Smiler in the UK. That was added in a Planet Coaster. That's what it looks like. And then they have a spinny coaster in it. I didn't do like the typical spinny coaster thing. It's kind of like the trains, like at the one that's at Waldermere. Only I just like made a weird thing. So anybody that watches me play Planet Coaster after this will see my concoction. And then you can see the other, like the whip and the other rides. I was working on, the Smilo one. But I went a little too crazy and it wouldn't work, so I deleted it. And I'm going to redo it when I go back in. But yeah, it was crazy, man. But yeah, so FearTown, if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you check it out. It's funny. And I think it's worth your hour and 32 minutes of time, because I'm going to be truthfully honest. I mean, I can't speak for everybody that was there. I can't speak for anybody else that would go to that. To me, it's not scary. It's more like interactive, immersive. They make you do things. It's if you really like take a step back and look, FearTown plays out like a horror movie. Because that's how I felt when I'm like, oh, I'm watching somebody go, like, the name of the movie is FearTown, and I'm watching people go through FearTown. That's exactly how it felt. I guess I edited it good to make it feel like it was like a movie, like a legit movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know if anybody else watched it, but check it out and watch it if you haven't. I thought it was funny. I mean, like Luco getting a chain wrapped around his neck and thrown and then put a bag over his head. Classic. I thought it was classic. And we already started talking for filming for this year, so FearTown, the movie part 2 will be coming out. Probably for next year, but film this year. Because I told the owner and the actors that were there, I said, no matter how any of us beg, no matter how many of us cry, do not tell us anything that happens. I think they kind of might like let things slip. Because I can tell you right now, the garage scene that, we were in the car and they're giving us blood baths and putting people's heads in shelves and making people quack like ducks and say other things and stuff like that. That scene will, I don't know for sure, but it sounds like that scene's gone. And it's going to be totally redone. So even though you watched 2018's go through, when you go through 2019, totally different experience, totally different theming, totally different everything. Because like when I talked to the guy who was the reindeer, he said he's not playing that character. He's already working on a new character for this year. So, and the year before that, he was an Irish cop talking about clown effers. Yeah, I talked to this dude, Alex, that actually works at Fright Haven. He said he's never watched a haunt that swore as much as this did. He was just like, this is awesome. I don't know. The whole thing was just crazy and it was awesome. The clown guy, he made a suggestion. I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, he loved it. Like, everybody loved what we did. How do I put this? The clown, Mr. Giggles, as he's called, he suggested putting the cameras on our heads. I mean, if you look, there was crotch shots, there's boob shots. It wasn't intentional, but it's just the cameras are on our chest, and depending upon who's looking, you can't always see somebody's face. And I totally agree. But when it comes to like the bag over the head, I don't know how it's going to work. But for what we did for our first try at editing something in that capacity, I felt really good about it. Was it perfect? No. There was mess ups I knew about, but I didn't have time, the want, or the need to go back and go backwards to, I would have had to like start over from fresh. I didn't want to. I was like, you know what? This is good. Like, I was proud of the final product. A lot of people liked it. I didn't see anybody. Let me see. Is there anybody put a thumbs down on it? No. It's got 289 views, 10 thumbs up. And a lot of the actors and stuff from that haunt, they appreciated what we did. They enjoyed it. They loved it. And to me, that's all that mattered. I can answer that question for you, Jason. I can answer that question for you. Jason says there needs to be more indoor amusement and theme parks here in America. Never understood why companies like IMG, DreamWorks, or WB have not done anything here like in Dubai. I am going to tell you why. And I am not even in the know. I'm going to tell you why. It all comes down to a few things. Population and money. Now look at the people that go out, but Dubai's hurting. They're not even coming anywhere near close. They're putting the investment trying to draw people in. Dubai is going to collapse and cave in. That stuff's going to all go away. I feel. I don't think that's going to be a sustainable business. They're not even hitting 1 million customers. Yeah, money. Yeah, that too, about in Dubai being hot as hell. But here's the problem that we have in America. People in America don't really come out and support stuff. Let's be truthfully honest. I think if it was like DreamWorks or Warner Brothers, but DreamWorks, I believe, is either owned or dealing with Universal. So maybe Universal will, I think when Universal opens up that new park, you're going to have DreamWorks galore, but not indoors. I could see Warner Brothers doing it. I could see any of them doing it. Let's be honest. We could see all these big companies that got these awesome properties do it, and I think that they would be pretty successful. The only problem, besides the money aspect and people not going out and supporting a product, the other problem that there is you have Disney and Universal. Those are your big players. So a place like WB or whatever, those companies know, do not put anything anywhere near Disney or Universal. They know this. Stay out of Florida. They could go in California, but they probably wouldn't. So now you got to look elsewhere in the United States. Where are you going to put an indoor place that's going to be somewhat successful? And what I mean by that is, all right, you have Mall of America out in Minnesota, and that does pretty good, I guess. We're going to see what happens when American Dream opens. I can't wait for that. That's like a 4-hour ride for me. I'll be all over that. I'm definitely going to go. There's no reason for me not to. Now, I agree. Vegas could be good. But now with American Dream coming in, depending upon how well that does, there could be room. Vegas would probably be the next one. But the thing is, the amusement parks don't really get supported in Vegas. I mean, look at the Stratosphere and Circus. People go, but I don't know if it's because it's not a theme. It all comes down again to the IP thing. If they're using the IPs, Warner Brothers, blah, 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 people are probably going to go. Be like, oh, this is crazy park. It's like Disney, only it's Warner Brothers. And they got Gremlins, and they got Batman, and so on and so forth. Whatever Warner Brother properties they got. I mean, Vegas would be a good place for it. It would be a good place, and I'm being biased as hell, and you're all going to laugh? Rhode Island. You're going to be like, whoa, who the hell is going to go to Rhode Island to go to a big place like... Rhode Island has nothing! Rhode Island has beaches, and I will not go in any water north of Florida. Hell, I ain't even going... I'm going to wait till I get to the Caribbean to go in the ocean. You will not get me in the ocean in Rhode Island. It's disgusting. New York, no. Anything north up, no. No, no, no. There is nothing. I mean, we got the go-karts now, which are cool. I'm about that game there with the indoor go-karts. Finally getting that. Rhode Island has nothing. We have nothing. You guys don't know. If you don't live in Rhode Island, we have nothing. We have nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Beaches that are disgusting. Anybody that lives outside of Rhode Island and you hear, Rhode Island has beautiful beaches. You know what? Baloney. It's a lie. Trust me. Like, I went in the, when I went on my cruises and I went to the Caribbean and I went swimming in that water, right? I didn't feel like I needed to run to go take a shower. I didn't feel sticky and disgusting, right? I go in Rhode Island water. Hey, what's up, BSM? When I go in Rhode Island water, disgusting. Disgusting. The ocean, disgusting. Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, disgusting. No matter which beach I go to in New England, New Jersey, anything north of Florida, disgusting. The Atlantic Ocean is disgusting. And anybody who says it's not needs their head examined. It's disgusting. But besides that, Rhode Island, if Rhode Island is the ocean state, we rely on our beaches. Right? That's all we got. They should put one of these indoor amusement park things, get our, our tourism up, and there's nothing. We got a big mall that's not really busy all the time, Providence Place Mall. We got a Dave & Buster's. We finally got an indoor go-kart place in Lincoln. That's really it. Like, there is no FECs. There are no amusement parks. It's just beaches, movie theaters, restaurants. There is no, like, cool entertainment. Even the strip clubs are going away. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is nothing. Like, we need something like that, like a DreamWorks or something to put in an indoor place. Everybody else got amusement parks and all kinds of crazy entertainment. We have nothing. Yeah, we lost our AAA baseball team. It's going to Worcester, Massachusetts. Pretty soon, we're probably going to lose the Providence Bruins. The AAA hockey team. We're probably going to lose that at some point, too. You watch. All right, we're going to get out of here. Now, before I leave, I need to tell you guys, next Thursday, there will be no Grove Show. There will be no Thursday Grove Show. I'm going to do it Friday instead because I'm going to see Avengers at 6 p.m. in 3D next Thursday. No, beaches are rocky and beaches are disgusting. You ever go to a beach in Rhode Island, BSM? Or anywhere in New England? Anywhere in New England. Nothing on the East Coast. Forget the East Coast water. It's disgusting. Anything on the East Coast, don't go in it. It's disgusting. I feel like when I go in it and I come out, I'm not like filthy, but I'm like sticky, like and itchy and disgusting. Like I'm on a detox. Yeah, the dog track is gone too. It's a casino now, but the dog track no more. It's a casino now. It's called Twin River, but it's a casino. That's the place that I got noticed at when I went to the bridal expo with me and Jessica. When the lady that was running the Men's Warehouse booth there, and it was like, oh, did you make the video about FearTown, the review? That was the place. But yeah, hey, I'm glad that you joined us, Jason. Hopefully you join us next week if you're not busy on Friday. Same time, 8 o'clock next Friday, but I'm going to go watch Avengers. And I promise I will not spoil anything for like 2 weeks. I'm going to give 2 weeks of me not saying anything about Avengers. And after that, if you haven't seen Avengers in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from next Thursday, if you have not seen Avengers, then you suck. Go see it. I'm giving you 2 weeks. Then I'll spoil. I'm just waiting 2 weeks. I figure 2 weeks after it opens is a good time. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go upstairs and get a snack, go have a smoke, and then I'll be back down, and then I'm gonna play some Planet Coaster. Yes, I'm one of those people that pre-bought movie tickets for Avengers. I didn't buy them. My brother bought them for me. 2 kids, my dad and him. And we're gonna go Avengers, and I can't like eat or drink that day because it's a 3-hour and 5-minute movie, and I'm probably gonna I don't want to miss it. So but anyway, so we'll be here Friday night. I understand if not many people watch it Friday night. People are gonna be watching Avengers. People are going to amusement parks. I get it. I won't be mad if people do show up next Friday. Cool. We could talk and have some more great topics. If not, then I'll talk to myself. How about that? And then you guys can comment after. Did you see Infinity War Part 1 or like Avengers #1, Jason? Like the very first Avengers movie. But yeah, I'm going to go see Endgame Thursday night, opening night. But I will not spoil it for people that haven't gone seeing it because I know people are waiting for this weekend. I'm going to be a good guy. The only thing I will say is if it's good or if it sucks. And I'm a huge Marvel fan. I just like movies. I'm a DC movie fan too. I like the DC movies too. But Avengers, I'm going next Thursday night. And Friday is going to be the Grove Show at 8 o'clock. Just for next week. And then we'll be back to Thursdays. It's just, I'm going to Avengers. I didn't want to make the show at like 10 o'clock at night to start at when usually we end at, This is Avengers 4 that's coming up. They're great movies. Like, get a bag of popcorn and a soda, throw your brain at the door, and then it's good. But I will see you guys next Friday, and I'll see you guys then. Most likely won't be at a park this weekend because of the rain and Easter, but you best believe the weekend after, I will be there. So I will see you guys next week. Keep on coasting, y'all. Peace!